Shalom. This is Ariel Ben Yasharallah, down here in the Lions Den camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rechak, Kodash, Ma'amath. A double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder as well, a hard one by Yasharallah, who rule and teach well down here in the Lions Den camp. And a sincere water to the Akim, the Akwatim, and the children that are pushing and believing in sincerity in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the water. This is an article about some orcas. It says ship captain attacked by orcas. Ship captain attacked by orcas again, says they developed their strategy. A sailor who has been ambushed twice by the same pod of orcas says the killer whales are refining their strategy. This comes amid a concerning rise in orca attacks on boats along the Strait of Gibraltar, which separates Europe from Africa. Captain Dan Kriz is a delivery skipper with the company Reliance Yacht Management and has over 20 years of experience. He had his first orca encounter in 2020. I was sailing with my delivery crew through the Strait of Gibraltar, delivering a yacht when I was surrounded with a pack of 8 orcas, pushing the boat around for about an hour, Kriz told Newsweek. We were one of the first boats experiencing this very unusual orca's behavior. Says the orcas caused significant damage to the ship's rudder, and Kriz and his crew had to be towed to the nearest marina in Barbet, Spain. 3 years later, on April 15, 2023, the orcas made their second appearance. While delivering a catamaran for the Catamaran Group Company, the same pack of orcas appeared out of nowhere, Kriz said. We were about to cross shipping lines and turn south to Canary Islands when we felt like we got hit bad with a wave, but with the second hit, we realized that the same situation from 2020 was happening. My first reaction was, please, no, not again. Kriz added. He advised his crew to stay calm and avoid interacting with the orcas. There's not much you can do, Kriz said. They are powerful and smart. All right. Says so smart, in fact, that they seem to have developed their strategy since Kriz's first encounter. First time we could hear them communicating under the boat, the captain said. This time they were quiet, and it didn't take them long to destroy both rudders. The first time, he said it took them about an hour. Now he said 15 minutes. Crazy. Looks like they knew exactly what they were doing, exactly what they are doing. They didn't touch anything else. Not only was the attack more targeted, but it also was more efficient. I pre-read this, and so it says, after about 15 minutes, they left, and we started motoring in the direction of Barbet, Kriz said. Suddenly, one big adult orca started chasing us. In a couple of minutes, she was under the boat, and that was when we realized there was still a little piece of fiberglass left, and she wanted to finish the job. After that, we didn't see them anymore. It says exactly why the orcas are targeting ship is unclear, but researchers have several theories. One is that a single revenge-bent female has taught the others to attack ships after being injured by one in the past, but not everyone is convinced by this theory. They could crush the boat in a heartbeat. If they wanted to, Sebastian Deschamps, a captain who was involved in a similar attack on May 22nd, previously told Newsweek, but they were not aggressive. They're not wanting to have a piece of you. Instead, Deschamps believed the orcas might be using our boats to teach their young how to hunt. If I was a parent orca, I'm not going to touch my living stock because my living stock is low. So why not train them on our boats? Deschamps said. For them, the rudder is like a fin. It moves like a fin, and we can play and push and grab it, and as soon as the rudder is destroyed, they disappear. This theory is consistent with Kriz's own experience, where both times the orcas have exclusively targeted the ship's rudders. Unfortunately, stories about mother orcas taking their young out for hunting lessons do not spread as quickly as fear over predatory revenge. And that is ultimately what it is. And they know that's what it is. They know it's predatory revenge. As a result, many sailors are arming themselves with guns rather than trying to communicate with these creatures, because they know They know that they have the ability of cognitive communication and stuff like that between other species. Rather, as a result, many sailors are arming themselves with guns and other weapons to defend their ships. It's important to get a different message across, Destumois said. So it says Chris is strongly against causing any harm to these animals. Bottom line is we are in their territory, he said. So that's the end of the article. And Khan, as fear over predatory revenge. And they know that's what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and give my scripture. So it made me think about this one right here. This is Job chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, call now if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. Khan. And that's the spirit that Esau and these heathens have been in, the spirit of wrath. And now it kills them in their foolishness. And envy slayeth the silly one. And Khan, and they've been silly in envy. All right. Verse 3, I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I curse his habitation. That's what's happening right now. All right. The foolish, the Esau who believes in carnality, he's taken root in this place that was given unto him. But suddenly I crushed his habitation. Khan, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to crush the habitation of the foolish. His children are far, Salakia, verse 4. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Khan, I'm going to go back to the article real quick. This is the orca, specifically targeting the rudder right now. And they just ripped it off.
We lost both rudders.
Right. That's the situation that the children of wickedness are in. All right. His children are far from safety. They're out in the middle of the ocean getting attacked by what they call killer whales. Killer whales. I like to call them orcas because it reminds you of the fact that, they're, even though they're animals, they do have a little bit of an understanding. But killer whales, damn, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Khan, there's going to be nobody that can stop the destruction of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua of these people. All right, verse 5, it says, whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Through affliction cometh not forth out of the dust, neither doeth trouble spring out of the ground. Khan. Okay, this doesn't just happen. And they're making up all these theories, but they know, and it's even more, I kind of emphasize predatory revenge. It's more so judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, this isn't like a verse. I'm gonna read verse 6. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doeth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born into trouble as the sparks fly upward. Khan, we're in this furnace of affliction. And right now, this furnace of affliction is afflicting unto us, but is made to purify us, and it's made to destroy everything else spiritually. Verse 8. It says, I would seek unto Yahweh, and unto Yahweh would I commit my cause, which doth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number. Khan, this is Job speaking. Verse 10, who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields. Khan, to set up on high those that be low, and those which mourn may be exalted to safety. All right. And right now, the children of Israel are mourning right now, and we're going to be exalted unto safety, the elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3 men, women, and children. Verse 12, he that disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Khan, they were trying to perform some type of enterprise, shipping some catamarans and skimming bops type of yachts and stuff across the ocean, but the Most High just took that out of their hands. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Khan, that's what we're seeing being done in front of our eyes right now. We're seeing the Spirit of the Lord work. Verse 14, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. We can see the darkness on these people that rule this society. Verse 15, but he saveth the poor from the sword. Khan, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to save his elect out of Israel from the sword. From Salakia. But he saveth the poor from the sword from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. Khan. Verse 16, so the poor hath hope, right? And then like Revelation says, though ye be poor, ye also rich, you know. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that. All right, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So the Lord, the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai knows our quote unquote, you know, carnal poor estate, but spiritually we are very rich. All right, so back to Job chapter 5, verse 16. So the poor hath hope. All right, Israel has hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. So despise not thou the chastening of Almighty. So we have to do our best to stay in tune with the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Know that when we're being brought to a lower state, it's to magnify the Lord evermore. It's the same way, the same spirit that Job did. He lost all that he had, even his health, and he still continued to magnify Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and live happily ever after. Like, honestly, like he got everything back and more, and got to see you know, his grandchildren having grandchildren. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Back to the scripture. The scripture was behold, verse 18. For he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth and maketh his hands whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. And we have to remember these things when these dark times come upon us, because they're coming to pump up the fire even more. No evil touch thee. Verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. There shall be hid from thee the skirt. Slakia. Verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shall not sin. This is the hope and the faith that we have to look on to. That when all this destruction and calamity of this society is falling, there's always going to be Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to be there with us. So much so that he can put us at league with the beasts of the field, and shall be at peace with thee. So it's just a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing that we're a part of, and we are so blessed to be a part of this story. All right, I'm gonna play a video at the end of this, but I'm gonna say shalom.
When they are traveling, the orcas may be in a full pod. Most of the time, it's the full pod. We can find them traveling with only a subpod. A part of the pod can be between 5 and 10 individuals. The second part of the pod, or the other orcas, are swimming maybe 500 meters away, 1 kilometer away. They are not far. They are still in connection, but we cannot see them. They can swim in a tight pod very close to each other's. Or they can split the pod in 2 parts and swim some meters away from each other. When they are seeking for prey, they have this organization in a line, and they come to the surface to breathe all in the same time, and they go down and dive all together. Sometimes, and more, we have this situation in Norway. They swim spread out, one here and there. In Norway, we have This is an example of underwater interaction with orca pod traveling. I have a pole with a GoPro. I can film myself. It was pretty difficult, but I could have a good footage. And you can see that in this video, I'm a little bit late, and I know that. So instead of rushing in the orca direction, I open my path a little bit, and immediately one orca has left the swimming direction and gave me a level 2 interaction. Another solution is staying still. This is very good, because the orca pod will follow the direction they have before you go in the water. You will see them passing in front of you, mainly for a level 1 interaction. I'm filming in this situation, and I know I feel when I'm too late and when there is no point to swim in the orca direction, so I let my buoyancy bring me back to the surface. And by doing that, I give a signal. My body sends a signal, give a message to the orca, and most of the time they stay around. If the divers are in the same behavior, such as in this video, we can be visited by the same orcas once, twice, or maybe more. Because all the divers are staying still, they are visited by the same orcas. This is a very, very good example of what you can get when you stay still with orcas visiting you. The second solution could be swimming in the same direction. For instance, you are here, the orca pod is swimming in this direction. Is it okay to swim in front of the orca pod? Isn't it dangerous in front of the top predator to swim like if you're escaping? No, it's not bad. Even better than staying still. For me, this is the best way to see orcas taking over and come back, and the orca will interact with you, and depending on the behavior, depending on your body language, if you show the belly, if you stay at the side, if you show the back, when you are swimming, you send different signals, and all of this is my experience of the body language and how to reproduce some element of the body language in order to start to communicate with the body language with orcas, and it works. And sometimes the feeling and the encounter is even stronger, such as in this situation with a large female. And you can observe the body language of this female, which is turning the body and looking in one direction like this. And you see the pectoral fin, which is also a sign when the pectoral fins are down like this. And then I can appear, and she was just, by this body language, inviting me for a swim. And that we did, and it was a really great feeling. When the orca pod is playing, the technique is to stay outside the social zone and to swim just at the limit of the social zone, way and back, up and down, like this. What happens sometimes is when the orca, they open the game to other species, they will swim with you at the edge of the social zone. And they will swim this way, they will be faster. They will turn back, you keep swimming in a parallel line and way and down, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times like this. And what can happen sometimes, and I've tried it, is when the orcas are taking over, I turn and they do the same. They turn to follow you, meaning that they let you lead the game. And this is the most emotional, powerful interaction feeling you can get with orcas. When you have the feeling to be a part of the group, sometimes they enter in a level 3 interaction, they speak with you. The feeling you have in a level 3 interaction with the social game of the orcas has no equivalent. So this is the best way to have the level 3 encounter and the best encounter ever with orcas.